This is Talk with TAS, a radio experience hosted by Dr. Teresa A. Smith, a licensed counselor and professor focused on the transformative journeys of her guests and the lessons they've learned along the way. She's also an author, speaker, and nationally known social media personality. Join her now as she interviews newsmakers, artists, authors, and more. You will learn something new. This is Talk with TAS. Here's your host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, also known as Dr. TAS.
Today, I have Shanna Simpson with me. Now, Shanna Simpson is quite remarkable. She is a young lady who is paving her own way. She has a business background, and she's been able to leverage her business knowledge to basically start her own brand, her own business, and it is just blowing up. Shanna, say hello to the crowd.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Teresa, for having me on and for just taking an opportunity to want to even get to talk to me and ask me different questions about my background.
Well, thank you, Shanna. As I said, you are so remarkable to me. I know you because you work in taxes. So you're a full-time accountant, bookkeeping is your specialty. And so when I realized that you had shifted and was starting your own business, I'm thinking it's going to have something to do with finances.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't. And I remember when I saw your business, and what you were doing, and I was like, oh, I want one. And I did place orders, guys. I want one. But then to see where you have expanded, it's been almost 5 years ago that you started your business. And you've gotten traction even through the pandemic. I need the audience to see someone who is forward thinking, who has not taken no for an answer, has not let the pandemic stop her progress. And the best way to do that was to invite you into the kitchen. Now, my audience has heard me say that you're an accountant. So tell us a little bit about your education background.
So I graduated from University of North Carolina with a business administration degree in business administration, concentration in marketing in 2005. And from there, I did minor in textiles products marketing because I always wanted to be a buyer in the fashion department. I have a love for fashion, which you'll find out later on how I incorporated that into my business. But that's where it started at. And I did dibble and dabble into the retail department, moving up, become a store manager in a couple of retail stores, and then eventually got back to what I was really good at, which is math. That's always been my best subject, and got back into bookkeeping and taxes, working for Elite Enterprises.
You graduated from University of North Carolina at Greensboro, business administration with a concentration in marketing, but you also minored in textile because you wanted to be a buyer.
I wanted to be a buyer. Actually, all 4 years of college, I worked at Nordstrom in Durham. So I would travel on the weekends back home to work at South Point Mall and at Nordstrom, worked there all 4 years. And then when I graduated, I tried, I moved up to the department I wanted to be in, and then actually got a better opportunity at, you've heard of Limited 2, which is now called Justice. I got opportunity to become a assistant store manager there. So I was trying to work my way up in the retail department.
Why did you decide to go strictly to the other side with the math?
Well, the retail or the clothing or fashion side of business is very competitive. I had my foot in the door. I couldn't get all the way up to where I wanted to. There's different programs you have to become a buyer. Like, for example, at Nordstrom, I wanted to become a buyer and just never got the opportunity to be placed into that department. So I went a different avenue, and then I got an opportunity to completely change career paths and go into bookkeeping and taxes with Lee Enterprises. And so I just took a chance, left the retail department and came there. And I've been there since 2013 now, so full time. But speaking a little bit of background, my mom, who's Oni Parker, she has always had she's had her business. I'm actually 7, 8 years old when she started her business. So I've always seen her in business for herself doing accounting and taxes. So I grew up around it. And actually in high school and in college, I used to help her out.
If there was one huge lesson you learned from your mom as an entrepreneur, what would that be?
My mom is a fighter. She's a go-getter. When she puts her mind to something, she finds ways to make it happen and she gets it done. And that's one thing I picked up from her. And that's something along the line. I've had other people tell me that I didn't even realize it until they said it. I was like, Shannon, when you say you're going to do something, you find a way to do it. And I do. And I get that from my mom, from Oni Parker.
And obviously your mom is very successful and you're very successful in your own right. You started your own business, I should say, and you're a go-getter. I can see your growth. I see the perseverance. I see the focus. I see you fighting to make it happen, and it is happening. So now let's just talk about your business and how the idea for the
earrings
got started.
It's not really like a wow how I came up with my business, because I actually did not even know what I wanted to do. I always had a love for fashion. I always had a love for jewelry, but I knew I wanted to do something on the side besides doing my accounting. I had free time, but I didn't know. I went to a pop-up shop where there were a lot of different vendors there. And there was one particular vendor there who was selling wooden jewelry. I was immediately drawn to it. And at that time, like I said, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and it just clicked. And I just said, that's what I want to do. I want to start selling wooden jewelry, which is how my business started. Went home, got on Google, which is my best friend, and started researching where can I find wholesale jewelry from. Found a vendor, went ahead and ordered the products, ordered 60 pair to be exact, and about 4 or 5 different styles. Got them probably like within 2 weeks, laid them all over my table, took pictures, and posted them online, and literally within a week, no more than 2 weeks, they were sold out. And that's how my business started. The way I helped to differentiate myself, because like I said, I'm always thinking of ways of being different. I want to stand out from someone else, because there's a lot of people who sell jewelry. So I said, I'm going to stand out is I'm going to allow my customers to be able to color customize their earrings. Instead of painting them myself, putting them up there and okay, you can select from the selections I have, I allow them to color customize them. And it just grew from there. And I just added on product lines every year based on the things that I like, because my business is a reflection of my style and the things that I like. So you'll find an array of different things on my website, and it's consistently growing. I have probably over 200 items in inventory. I just recently added clothing because I love to thrift. So
you saying you love to thrift. Now, where are these clothing coming from? Are you getting them? I mean, help me to understand, because you say thrift. Where are they coming from?
So if you're referring to what you see in my pictures, I do buy from a lot of resellers who thrift themselves. So there are a lot of, the thrifting community is really, really big and really supportive. I'm on Instagram. I follow a lot of thrifters, and they go thrifting in different states: Texas, Florida, New York, Virginia, Georgia, all over the place. And so I order my personal wardrobe. I order a lot of them from the different thrifters. But what I resell and some of the stuff that I wear myself, I go thrifting at Goodwill. What are some other thrift stores I've been to? I'm trying to think. Living Free Ministries. There's one in Burlington and in Mebane. So, but literally I shop a lot of Goodwills.
So I'm going to start with the clothing, because this is all new to me about the clothing. I just saw that you had added it. So you're saying that, which is a smart business move. I just want to help the audience to understand what you've done. You said, first of all, you've added inventory based upon things that you like. And
exactly.
But with the clothing piece, because we're going to work our way backwards.
Okay.
You added thrift clothing based upon your ability as a buyer, work with me, who was not picked up by a large organization.
Yes, I'm with you.
And you took that know-how and you go out to Goodwill, Love and Free Ministry, other places, and you have the eye to see what customers, people like me, would want. And so you're buying those clothings and then you're then repurposing them and selling them.
Yes.
What a unique way to take the skill set that you had that you didn't get a chance to apply because you didn't get into the Nordstrom program,
Yes.
but you are now acting as a buyer, and you're a buyer for yourself, your business, and now sharing your merchandise with your customer base.
Look at this. I've never even had that twist and thought about it from that aspect, but you are exactly right. I'm buying for my business and then reselling it.
Oh, Shanna, I just love when I sit down and talk to folks like
yes.
this. I love it because you really are living your dream. You weren't able to do it the traditional way, but you're doing it the non-traditional way now. So for folks who are into the money, what that means is she cut out the middleman.
Exactly.
She is all man. She buys the merchandise. She ships the merchandise to her customers. You know, there's going to be a little markup, but there's no real markup because all of the revenue comes to her. I want you to understand how just as she has found her niche, you can find your niche and just start small. Because now we're going to swing back to the beginning. So you started with the earrings, and how I came to know about it was I saw, we were talking and I was like, oh, you're doing earrings. And I ordered some butterfly earrings.
Yeah, that's right.
And so she made them for me and I told her the color. They were pink and green. You guys figured that out. They're pink and green. And then I got to customize. And then from there, Shanna, you kept adding more stuff on. Now talk to us about all the stuff that you added on once I got my earrings.
So of course, the different types of earrings. I started with wooden jewelry. And since then, I've added a lot of different other types of jewelry as far as geometric. This is how I customize my website. Novelty earrings, like what you're seeing I have on, which, you know, they're Rubik's Cubes that actually work. I started making button earrings. So I make those with different fabrics. I converted some of those earrings into rings. So I started selling rings. I sold fedora hats like you see up here. So I'm the type of person, if you ask me where I get something from and there's a way I can sell it myself instead of, like you said, I take out the middleman, then I'm going to do that. So I started selling fedora hats because I have a love for fedora hats. Hair wraps, I'm naturalista, as you can see. And so I do wear head wraps and different hair accessories. So I do sell those, worded hairpins. Let's see, what else? Oh, I used to sell t-shirts that I customized, but I've since discontinued my custom t-shirts, but I do still sell t-shirts. They're more so revolve around the 90s music era. Yeah, Aaliyah, Biggie, stuff like that.
Why did you decide to discontinue your custom t-shirts?
That is a very competitive market. I'm the type of person where if a lot of people are doing it, then I'm going to go move into something else where you don't see a lot of it or it's not as popular because I don't mind competing. There's nothing wrong with that. But if I can find a niche somewhere else and just help grow that to where, I don't really see people really doing that like that, then I'm going to jump into that and let them go ahead and have, that other market. I had a middle person because I don't have a heat press. So I had to go through someone else. So the markup was there and I just discontinued them.
Thank you, Shanna, because I want people to understand it's okay to change your path. You were having success with all the other things and you were having some success with the t-shirts. And I like the fact that you said there are a lot of people doing custom shirts. There were people already doing wooden earrings because that's where you walked in and was like, oh, this is what I want to do. But they weren't doing it the way you were doing it.
Exactly.
But then the next phase is you found your niche. How do you market your materials, your items to the general public?
And that's still, I'm always learning. That's always a work in progress as marketing. So my first thing when marketing was, who is my customer base? Because you can just put stuff out there all day long, but if it's not getting in front of people who are going to buy your stuff, it's a moot point. It's not really going to help. So my thing was, okay, who it is that I'm marketing to? I'm marketing to me. So, women who, I'd say a good 99% of the people who buy from me are females and they're African-American women. So that is my market. ladies who like to stand out, who like to be bold, who like color, who like different. That was my market. So I started there, and I started a business Instagram page. I started a Facebook business page, and I joined groups on Facebook that I could find my market at and then advertise there. So I do pay for Instagram ads sometimes, as well as I do vending events as well too, where I know my market is going to be there. And that's another way I advertise. I always wear my accessories everywhere I go. I'm always passing out business cards. I'm not a seller. My earrings and stuff speak for them, and they sell themselves. So if you're going to ask about it, okay, oh, I actually sell these. Here's a business card. That's how I do things. So, but I'm always thinking of different ways to advertise.
It's working though, because as you said, you understand who your audience is. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to really pare down to. And I think for some of us, we want our audience to be someone else, a different demographic, mm-hmm. rather than accepting who the audience is. And your audience really, it could be anyone, any age. Let me say that first of all.
That's correct.
It won't get me. But it could be anywhere from, say, 13 really, mm-hmm. to about 70.
Exactly.
75. Because at different times, I want to wear different things, different occasions. So I'm going on vacation, and I'm natural, but not that type of natural. If my hair was like that, they would say, yeah, you need a wrap. Because I wouldn't be able to do nothing with it. Mm-hmm. But, I'm on vacation, so it's like I need a head wrap. I may want bigger, more flashy earrings. I want more vibrant color. Well, it doesn't matter that this age or that age. I'm your target audience at that point. And so understanding that, and then being astute enough to know that you're your own walking advertisement. Mm-hmm. Every time you go out, every time you post something on social media. So why not flaunt it?
Exactly. Exactly.
And you do flaunt it well. Always fly.
Thank you.
And so now I got to ask, is it really worth it to do like the Facebook ads or the Instagram ads?
So I've done at least 5, it's been less than 10 ads that I've paid for. And how I do it is I set a budget. I don't spend a lot of money. Each ad I'd say is about $30 to $35, and I run it over a span of a week. And when you do that, they tell you potentially how many people that it could reach. So I've had ads where all I got was followers. It got likes, so it got there. I could see how many people saved it. But I have had ads where people literally did make a purchase, and I could tell because you can see who liked the ad, and it tells you that this person was, found you through the advertisement, and then I go see their name on the order. So not every advertisement I get sells, but every advertisement has put me in front of someone who I was not in front of. And believe me, you might not get a sale today, but maybe a month later down that ad, that post that they saved, they're going to go back to and they're going to come back and buy from you. So it's definitely worth it.
So as a vendor, how do you set your table apart from other folks' tables?
Well, one, I have a cohesive theme. I have black and white striped tablecloth. Now, that is now becoming, a thing. I've seen quite a few people who have black and white striped tablecloths, but a lot of people don't. They have just a generic black. So that's a standout. I do have my banner that's behind me that I have. And then I have a cohesive gold theme that all of my fixtures that I put my earrings and stuff on is all gold. So they said, I've had people literally try to buy stuff off my table just to displays. I'm like, no, they're not for sale. But my earrings, my jewelry, the stuff that I sell basically stands me out. I mean, they could say, oh, we're going to have nothing but jewelry vendors here. Okay, still sign me up, because they're not going to sell what I sell. And if they do, they're not going to style it the way I style it. So, you have to believe in yourself. So vending events is an opportunity to literally put your face with your company in person. So it's a way of meeting your followers. I've had a lot of people come up to me, oh my God, I follow you on Instagram, follow you on Facebook. I've bought from you. And it's an amazing feeling. I love vending. I absolutely love vending. It's probably my favorite part of being in business.
You got to tell us, how did you come up with the name for your business?
So the business name is Naturally Unique by SOS. Of course, SOS are my initials, Shanna O. Simpson. And so naturally unique, because I'm natural. So that came out there, and I'm unique, and it just made sense. And I put the SOS at the end because there are other businesses who have that name, Natural Unique. So the by SOS just differentiates it from everyone else.
Well, now we got to talk about the logo.
The logo is literally it's a shape of an afro, a woman's afro, that has my name, my business name in it. But we had this wooden, because like I said, I started with wooden jewelry. That is the basis of my business, is the wooden jewelry. And so I wanted to stand out. And so the person who did my logo, he actually came up with that wooden theme. I mean, we had dibbled and dabbled with different things, and he came back with this logo. He shot the wood on. He's like, "What do you think about this?" Like, oh, this is amazing. I didn't even think about that. And so he thought of it. And so it just stuck. It just made sense. And then we put the little earrings on the end. I don't know if you can see it in the back. Can you see it?
I can see. Yeah, thank you. Yes, now they can see it better.
That's my logo. Yes. And I absolutely love it. So every time you see it, that's my business. And it's trademarked.
Now, Shanna, if you were going to reflect on all the things that you've done, if you could tell yourself, the young woman that attended UNCG, University of North Carolina in Greensboro, who was taking her business administration courses, was concentration in marketing, but then did a minor in textile. If you could tell that young, bright-eyed young woman anything, what would you tell her?
What would I tell her? One, I would tell her, don't take yourself so seriously. Enjoy life. You have a lot of time to figure out what it is that you want to do, because I thought after college, I need to be in my career. I need to be doing it. And I really thought I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't even know I would be in this area of my life. I didn't know I'd have my own business. I thought I would always be working for someone else, which I am. I never thought I'd be working for my mom. I never thought I'd be in the tax business. But I would tell her, just enjoy life and do what makes you happy, because you're going to be working for a while. So if you're going to be doing something that takes up a chunk of your life, enjoy it.
But the work-life balance, because here it is, you work a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And your business is growing. How do you balance the two? Because you're talking about enjoying life. How do you balance that?
Well, working for your mom has its perks. Now, we do have a blackout season, which is tax season. So January through usually it's April 15th, I'm working 6 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days. And so I get prepared for that mentally. But then after tax season, through December, I work 4 days a week. So I'm off Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So, and essentially to me, my business, even though my business Naturally Unique is a business, I don't look at it as a business. It's fun to me. I enjoy working that and doing the different events and traveling, because I'm traveling too as I'm doing these events. I've done events in South Carolina. I've done events in Virginia. I'm trying to branch out. I've done a earring paint party in Florida. So my business is not really work to me. It's fun, but I do make time. I make time to have fun and have a social life.
I do want to bring out one thing, because I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question. Your mom is an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And I've known her for quite some time, and I know she's always expanding her business, and she does really well. Have you given her some advice, though?
She gives me advice all the time. I'm always running stuff by her. But yeah, sometimes she comes and asks for my opinion about things. Just from a different perspective. I think we always could help each other out. I know she has a whole lot more experience on me than I do, but like I said, a different perspective. Things have changed. There are some things I might know a little bit more than she does, as far as maybe in the with social media. I mean, I'm the one who suggests let's get Lee Enterprises a Facebook business page, Okay. And so she since got off Facebook. And so I'm like, okay, well, we need to reopen that back up because a lot of people find us on Facebook, believe it or not. I've advertised in the Mebane group. I mean, that's how a lot of people find us. So stuff like that, I try to put my 2 cents in, but she's always innovative and she's always finding stuff. So she really, doesn't need my opinion about a lot of things. But there is something I do want to point out too, with anyone who's wanting to have a business or start things out, or you got to always think of ways of innovating and changing. Can't consistently do the same things all the time because, your customers might get bored or your competition is going to start doing other things too, because it's always going to be competition. But always think of ways to expand your business. And that's what I've been doing with mine. I started with the wooden jewelry and then added on to it. And that just not only increases revenue, but it increases your client base because someone might not wear wooden jewelry, but they wanted some clothing. Everybody wears clothing. People love hats, so always think about that. And I just recently, like I mentioned, I do the earring paint parties now. So that's a whole different avenue with my business, but it still fits in because I paint my jewelry. So I thought, why not allow my customers to be able to paint their own jewelry as well too? But in a setting surrounded with family and friends, it's good for a girls group to do anything. So earring paint parties, think wine and design. Yeah. So it's almost in that same aspect, except you take lightweight wooden jewelry that you get to pick and I have over 30 different paint colors and I have the drying racks, you have the earrings, you have the music, you have some wine or whatever it is you want to bring. I've brought food and stuff, and then you just have a good time and paint your earrings, let them dry, and then you have your own artwork that you create that you get to wear so everyone can see it.
Oh, I love that concept. Now, does that mean that all the participants, we could pick our own earrings? So it doesn't have to be that my earring is the same as your earring?
Exactly. It's whatever I have in stock. Now, I do private ones. So if you let me know in advance, if there's something that you want, I may be able to get that. But typically, I bring all the wooden jewelry that I have in stock, set it out for display, and then you could just choose, which pairs you want to paint. So
I love that idea. And I like the fact that it can be different from other folks.
Exactly.
Because different things look good on different people. We've got different tastes.
Exactly.
So I like that. That's really like a customized earring paint party.
Exactly.
Well, you guys, you heard it here first. Shanna has just about anything that you're interested in. And if you don't think you see it there, just let her know. She may be having it come down the pipe because she is very responsive to her clients. Shanna, thank you so much for coming by my kitchen today and sharing, how you got to where you are and how you're balancing your day job with your real passion and how you're really truly playing to your strength as a mathematician, but also using the skills and knowledge and education that you gain and that desire to work in the fashion industry. You're using that also. And so you kind of got the best of both worlds. Tell my audience how they can stay connected to you.
Thank you, first of all, inviting me and making this so much fun. But to reach me, I am on Facebook, Naturally Unique by SOS. I'm on Instagram, naturally_unique_by_SOS. And then I have a website, naturallyuniquebysos.bigcartel.com.
Shanna, you'll have to come back because I know that you're constantly adding things to your merchandise. And I love the idea of the earring paint party. I know great things are going to continue to happen. So you keep us abreast of what you've got coming. And we'd love to have you back in the kitchen so that you can update us.
Okay? I would love it.
All righty then. Thank you again for being with me in the kitchen. Until next time, you take good care and all the best to you as your business continues to expand.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Talk with TAS with Dr. Teresa A. Smith. For more information on this show and Dr. TAS, you should visit AskDrTAS.com. That's AskDrTAS.com. Talk with TAS is a production of DQ Consulting, LLC. Dr. Teresa Smith, Executive Producer.